Hi there, everybody. Welcome back to A Gringo Sergipano. This is episode 18, where we're building the city of Kier. And today, we're going to develop a small island, kind of develop the whole thing into a residential area near the airport. But before we get to that, I do need to fix a couple things about the airport itself. So let's get started, shall we? Yeah, so there's a bit of a traffic jam here, and that's really because the airport is divided into two halves and they're pretty unequal. There's one side with the large passenger planes that can reach it from one side, and there's only a couple of those, so everything is working well in that capacity. But on the other side, there are a lot of cargo planes, there's a lot of small and medium-sized passenger planes, and that leads to an extreme backlog trying to get onto the runway. So what we need to do is reformat this entire section and redesign the airport. Yeah, so I did not need to change any of the buildings or anything like that, but I did need to add another runway, and I needed to add kind of a directionality so that things are able to get on to both runways from either direction. So now that is possible. And we do have some extra space if we need to expand the airport further, which we'll see. Maybe we will as the city grows. Alright, so I'm not going to change the passenger infrastructure that exists, but I do want to update the cargo. I think that we can have a better design, and I also want to have a way to get to the other side of the island as it expands eventually. So we need to change the way things are laid out here. Okay, so we have moved the train station, the cargo train station, and it is in between, some access roads for the airport and a new parkway that's going to kind of go across the side of this island here to reach the other side eventually. And we've added some warehouses, as we've done in other cities that I've built, so that we have ample places to, send our goods in and out of the city, kind of as a point to deliver them. We don't have any ore stuff yet because we don't have any more industry. That might change soon, hint hint. Okay, there is our updated airport. As you can see, we have significant room for future expansion if we ever chose to go that route. But right now, I'm very pleased with the changes we made. Okay, so this is the island we're going to develop. It is Tumwater Island. Now we have Tumwater Boulevard that is the main link to it, although I'm sure we'll have the second because cul-de-sacs are bad. Okay, yeah, speaking of connectivity here, we have connected Tumwater Boulevard to the parkway I had built previously that kind of bypasses the airport that will eventually head to the other side of this island. This rail connection was a little too close there. I have moved it further away so it's a little bit more logical. I don't have a lot of competing intersections with rail and highway and things like that. Alright, so here's the intersection of Gunnell Highway and Tumwater Boulevard. We'll head across to the airport island, which I don't have a name for yet, and then over to Tumwater Island. So looks like we have everything set up that we need there. Yeah, and now we have a connection on the other side of the airport to lead to Tumwater Boulevard. So now we kind of have access to this island in at least road form from Montauk over here, on the other side of the airport. Alright, so my vision for this island is to be kind of half high-density development and half low-density development. We're kind of going to try to leave some of the natural features, the mountains and the trees, alone. So here's my initial grid. Let's let things grow in. Yeah, like that. That's really cool. That's a good start to things. This is going to be the core area of Tumwater. There's a lot of nature. There's a lot of cool things about this island. I really like it. Okay, so I wanted to extend the existing ferry line. So now we have a stop over here in Tumwater. It comes over from Montauk And right now that's really probably going to have a lot of ridership until we have other forms of transit in this area. Okay, so we have extended the grid a lot more. This is basically the extent that we're going to have a high density grid, residential anyway. And we have this high school campus here on the edge of the island that I really like. It reminds me of you probably keep seeing it online, of like a high school in Alaska that has a field that's kind of on the side of the water. Okay, so now we do have the second connection, the second bridge, over to this really cool island with a natural harbor that I have lots of plans for going forward. I think you can probably guess what it's going to be called if you're paying attention to this series at all. Alright, so now we kind of have the main roads laid out in this island. I'm going to have some low density development in the clearings and, leave the trees alone. But I also need to add a little bit more, but we'll get to that later. I have plans for kind of the top of the hill over here in the center of the island. So here we have a look at what I guess we can call downtown Tumwater. And I really am pleased with what we have here on this island. Kind of given Maldives kind of situation where everything is filled up, but we are going to leave some more space and let nature take its course here, let nature breathe. I wanted to take a step away from Tumwater to show kind of an ongoing project because there was significant demand for residential, and as that happens over time, I'm going to continue to add density into this triangle near downtown. So right now there is high density in this section of Myrtle that was not there before, because I do have a need for people, I have a need for citizens, and that is a place where the infrastructure will support it. Alright, so I've added this kind of office node here beyond on top of the hill. We will connect with public transport eventually. But all the rest of the white space is really just going to be low density residential development. And you can see where that zoning takes in. I do have a lot of low density in the areas, leaving nature alone. That's something that I struggle with this game, something I struggle with music, letting things be, letting there be rest, letting there be empty space, letting there be open space. That's something that I want to try to do a little bit more consciously, and I would like to leave the forest be in this island. Alright, so some transit. Metro Line 1 comes over from the airport. You have two spots in, quote-unquote downtown Tumwater, and also in the office area. So that probably will reduce some usage of our ferry, but it will definitely bring people in from the rest of the city. Okay, so here's bus line 23. It's kind of a loop around the island, to collect people, basically, to bring them towards the metro stations. Alright, so there we have most of the plan here for Tumwater Island. We still need to let a little bit of the low density residential come in, but this is the way things are going to be. We're going to leave a lot of the natural forest that's here. Okay, well, that's all she wrote for this one. We really have developed this pretty cool island. We just have this lots of little nodes of high density in different places. This is turning out to be such a cool build. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this. Have a good one. Take care. Bye, everybody.